Hi, everyone, and welcome to Dentist's Coffee Time. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating question that sits right at the heart of what we do. What exactly is beauty? Is it some rare innate talent that only a few people have? Or is it a science? A set of principles that can actually be analyzed, learned, and then replicated. Let's get into it. So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to start with a story about a world-renowned dentist and a passion of his you probably never knew about. Then, we'll witness a moment where a perfect copy completely blurs the line with a masterpiece. From there, we'll deconstruct the relationship between art and science, and finally, we'll tie it all back to what we do every day in the clinic.
All right, so our story begins with a true legend in our field, a man whose passion for perfection went way, way beyond the dental chair.
Now, many of you have definitely heard the name Dr. Morton Amsterdam. He was an absolute giant in dental medicine, often called the father of periodontal prosthesis. I mean, he was the guy for the most complex cases, restoring both the gums and the teeth. But here's the thing many people don't know. He had another, equally deep expertise: antique Chinese porcelain.
And this wasn't just some casual hobby. He was deep into it. As a young dentist, get this, he spent half his starting salary on antique plates. He studied so intensely he could tell dynasties apart with just a glance, and even took courses in Oriental philosophy to really understand the context. He saw the science inside the art, the chemistry of the glaze, the physics of the firing. And it was this deep, analytical mind that was about to be put to the ultimate test.
So it was on a trip to Taiwan that Dr. Amsterdam's profound expertise was challenged in a way that truly, deeply shook him. A friend took him to a small workshop in a place called EP2, which was run by a master artist named Tsai Hsiao-Fang. Now, this wasn't just any local artist. For over 30 years, Tsai was the guy the National Palace Museum trusted to repair their most priceless porcelain, and he made a very bold claim. He said he could make a perfect replica of anything. So, Master Tsai presents this absolutely stunning plate. Dr. Amsterdam, the seasoned collector, picks it up. He examines the color, the glaze, the feel in his hands. Everything was just perfect. Then he flips it over and he sees a flawless imperial seal from the reign of the Qianlong Emperor. He looks up, his face goes pale, and he just says 3 words: "Oh my God." He later confessed to his friend, "I can't tell if this is a priceless original or a modern copy." I mean, he was so shaken, he joked that he had to go home and check if his own collection was even real. This whole situation brings up a really fascinating question. If an imitation is so flawless that it fools a world-class expert, what does that say about art? Is beauty just some creative spark of genius, or is there a science to it that can be mastered and, well, reproduced? To really answer that, we've got to untangle a few key concepts, ideas that we often treat as totally separate, but are actually, as we'll see, deeply connected. We tend to put art, science, and beauty into these neat, separate little boxes. But in reality, that's not how it works at all. The most profound achievements, whether they're happening in a ceramics workshop or a dental clinic, happen right there in that powerful space where all 3 of them overlap.
We often romanticize art as this mystical flash of inspiration that you either have or you don't. But if you really break it down, art is the application of incredible skill and technique, and it relies on a foundation of rules and principles that you can absolutely analyze. I mean, think about it. If art couldn't be analyzed, art schools just wouldn't exist, right? They teach composition, color theory, perspective. These are all analytical principles. They're frameworks that reliably create something aesthetically pleasing. So this tells us art isn't just magic. It can be analyzed, it can be taught, and because of that, it can be replicated. And science? Well, science is what gives us the rulebook and the tools. Master Tsai didn't just have a good artistic feel. He had a scientific understanding of the chemical makeup of his glazes, of the physics of firing temperatures. He was using science to achieve his artistic goal.
So what does a story about a shaken porcelain collector have to do with creating a beautiful restoration in our daily practice? Well, the answer is everything.
Dental aesthetics can feel really abstract at first, like something you just need to have an eye for. But just like that perfect porcelain plate, a beautiful smile is also built on a solid foundation of hard science.
The parallels here are just striking. A master ceramicist studies ancient masterpieces. We, as master clinicians, study natural dental anatomy. One masters clay and glazes. We master composites and ceramics. The ceramicist uses chemistry and firing science. We use the science of the bite, occlusion, along with biology and the physics of how light plays with the tooth. In the end, we're both trying to do the same thing, perfectly recreate natural form and color, and the result is what we see as a work of art.
So this right here, this is the path to mastery. We analyze beauty, and that reveals the underlying rules. Principles like the golden ratio and tooth proportions, the precise contours of the gum line, or what we call gingival architecture, and of course how light reflects and travels through enamel. And because it has these rules, it can be taught. If it can be taught, it can be learned. And if it can be learned, it can be replicated right in your own clinic. This means creating a beautiful smile isn't just an innate talent for a select few. It is a scientific discipline that any of us can master. So, that brings us back to you. When you're in your practice crafting a restoration, where do you feel that line is? Is it all in the science, choosing the right material, making sure the occlusion is perfect? Or does the real artistry begin in that final polish, the subtle characterization you add to a veneer, or maybe somewhere else entirely? We would genuinely love to hear your thoughts and perspective on this. Go ahead and share it in the comments below.
Thank you for watching. This is Dennis Coffee Time. Bye-bye.